Jehovih said, "Now I will bewail you, O earth. The glories of your heavens, that are past and gone, shall be a lesson to the gods. Your heaven hoard, once the place of the wisdom of my son, Sethantes, upraised, behold it is measured and gone down. And Moab, the name and location of earth's first angelic parliament, is no more. Yeshua, the heavenly place constructed by my son, Ashong, for salvation, rest, and direction, is fallen. Where the plateaus of many resurrections once floated, there are now miring vampires, that are plunging and sinking into ooze, muck, slime, and filth, and like in quicksand, cannot pull away, and millions of souls, that neither hear nor see, but are ceaselessly burrowing deep in everlasting darkness. The plateaus, of many resurrections, are broken up, the substance scattered and unorganized, nor is there a vestige, a trace, left to show the glorious work of the gods from earth's past days. Hear me, your Jehovih, O gods and goddesses, for in witnessing these deep miseries, the soul is quickened to retain great wisdom. Thus I created man, out of darkness I created him, and my holy angels taught him to walk upright, and gave him my commandments, so that he could advance to eternal light. But because man did not obey the commandments of my God and Lord's, he fell. Nevertheless, a few obeyed the commandments, and did not fall, raising up heirs for the glory of my heavens above. I, Jehovih, have made an example of this kind of man, on all the corporeal, material, worlds I have created. For those who did not fall, became exemplars, or models representing a pattern and life of virtue, before the fallen. For having faith in me and my works, they did not question my wisdom and justice. But of those who fell, this is the history. They questioned first, their Jehovah's, person, next my wisdom, then my justice, finally my power. And after that proclaimed the folly of God and his lords. Consequently they usurped, yes, assumed control, to themselves to say, there is nothing higher than man. And they said of themselves, I am the highest. Hear your Jehovah's, voice, O gods and goddesses. For, as out of a contrary wind I give a mortal sea captain a wholesome lesson, or as out of a severe winter I give a corporeal farmer a lesson in providing for his household, even so, on the brink of a wicked world, I give you a lesson in the management of my kingdoms. For, from this time forward, the earth shall not fail, nor her heavens above her. How, then, shall my gods not rule over her in wisdom and power? Since many angels, or once mortals no longer bound by flesh, assumed they were the all-highest, they put aside the commandments, one of which was, to not permit the spirits of the newly dead, known as Essenes, to return and dwell with their mortal kindred, for they, not knowing about the higher heavens, will teach falsely concerning Jehovah and his everlasting kingdoms. And the dire situation, came to pass, that when one commandment was set aside, the others were also, and another situation, followed that the spirits of the newly dead, the Essenes, who were without knowledge of heaven, led mortals in their own way. For they, the unknowledgeable Essenes, dwelt together and slept together, and in dreams and visions, mortals judged themselves to be wise, not knowing they were obsessed, possessed, in sleep, and for the desires of the flesh, these mortals, found acquiescence in spirit, which is to say, no expressed objection, and perhaps neutral silence, and certainly no inspiration to practice restraint, having no higher God or Lord. And as one spirit returned and fastened itself on a mortal, so did another and another, till hundreds and thousands of spirits dwelt in one corporeal body, often driving away the natural spirit that I, Jehovah, gave at the time of conception. And these mortals did not know it, and they became void of direct purpose because of the confusion of soul, and were worthless on the earth. Jehovah further said, from this time forward, for a long season on earth, the spirits of the Essenes, the newly born dead, shall not be permitted to return and dwell with mortals. But the earth shall be encompassed on all sides with walls of emun, with walls of choking atmosphere, and supplied with ashars, or guardian angels over mortals, to bear away the spirits of the dead in the hour of death. But there shall come a time when mortals are capable of comprehending these matters, at which time their kindred spirits shall return at intervals from their holy labors in heaven, to see them and talk with them face to face.